Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Melos Machina. Welcome to episode 42. We are back again to continue our adventures in Jowdek, our adventures in
Murder Mystery Party.
Murder Mystery Janet's house. Yeah. How are we all doing today?
Good.
Excited. I've been thinking about this all week.
Ooh. It only took 7 months to get here. We might as well spend another episode doing it.
It's
fine.
Yeah.
Lock in.
Before we get into today's episode, a couple of quick announcements. First and foremost, if you are here, hello, welcome, happy to have you. If you would like to help support our channel, you can head on over to all of our socials, like, follow, subscribe, all those things. If you would like to support our channel monetarily, if you are watching on Twitch or YouTube, you can either become a member or subscribe. If you are listening to us on podcast or any of all of these, you can head on over to our Patreon and become a member over there. Members get perks. One of the big perks is that you get to join us for a post-show hangout where we're going to talk about everything that happens in the session. That's pretty much all I got on that. Every single thing that's going to happen. And we're going to take that segue straight into a word from the sponsor of Melos Machina, Cantrip Candles.
No murder here. Thank you to
Or
Cantrip
is.
Candles, for being the continuing sponsor of Melos Machina. They create immersive scents meant to steep you into your video games, your TTRPGs, or just IRL. They smell great. If you're following along tonight, maybe light up. That feels weird. Light a den of thieves with notes of red wine, leather, and mystery. What's gonna happen? Yes. So please head over to cantripcandles.com, snag a den of thieves, or pretty much any of the amazing smells over there, using our affiliate link that will be going through chat, and also use code APAC for 10% off your order. And other than that, pray for us.
Please.
Burn a
Hopefully no murder.
sanctuary.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe burn a sanctuary too.
Uh-huh.
They
Yeah.
haven't. Cantrip hasn't released Rich Bitch House yet. So,
Rich bitch
True.
Oh my god.
it's coming
True.
this summer.
I do think
Rich
Elven
Bitch
Luxury.
It's
Is
close.
close.
Is close.
To Rich
But
Bitch
it's
House.
not.
Very
It's
It's
not.
too nice.
Yeah.
I will say I
it's-
was going through some of the scents, like what would be a good one to burn for tonight, and House of the Witch actually did also, not in name but in
Right,
smell.
in
It had a
smell.
very good.
I don't know. You just said something interesting,
Mm.
Scott. House
Yeah,
of the
who's
witch?
a witch?
Who's the witch? eh? Who
Who's
is
a
it?
witch? So it's
the-
not a murder mystery party. It's a witch hunting
It's a
party.
seance. Seance.
There's already been fires. Like we don't need any.
Okay, fine. But yes, thank you, Cantrip Candles again. Back to you, Scott.
We find the witch and we hug them.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
We
witch
learn
hunt.
from them. I'm a wizard. That's close.
So close.
Fine.
I think Finn's just saying he needs a hug.
Yep.
Definitely.
Pal can't do
not
that.
With, not with Janet around.
Oh god. No. Oh jeez.
I made a mistake.
On that note, players,
this is getting
are we
kinda
ready for
weird.
tonight's episode?
Oh yes.
Let's go. Let's figure this out.
When last we met our adventurers, they had finally arrived to the dinner party at Lord Janob's home, and were immediately announced and welcomed in a boisterous and loud fashion. Through the course of the evening, you then met the wide cast of characters, all of whom seem to be of the upper class and having a varying degree of thoughts and concerns about the recent attack that had happened on the town. As the last guest arrived, the Plavertons, dinner was served, and you all enjoyed a meal in the main dining hall. And as you were discussing amongst yourselves and getting to know the group, a quiet was heard across the room when an announcement echoed throughout the city declaring a curfew in effect and a lockdown on travel to and from the city. The bodiless voice vanished, And the sounds continued as Lord Janub looked about awkwardly. Dessert? As he snaps his fingers, the servers turn to leave, but with not in their normal stoic, we are doing our job. It seems to be more of what just happened.
Huh. Well, this certainly took a turn.
I've never heard anything like that. How fascinating. Well, I suppose I should offer, should anyone be in need of staying here tonight, I have enough rooms for everyone. We'll begin preparing the beds, so don't fret. You shan't go without.
Wow, so generous.
Well,
We were guided here by a very nice lady named Cindy. She is currently with our things.
Oh, your coach person.
Yes.
Wonderful. Well, I shall see to it that we have enough room for her as well.
Thank you.
I don't suppose somebody as well connected as yourself, or perhaps Lord Janicet, Captain Janicet over here, could find a way to make an exception for adventurers like us who need to make a return back to our things.
Well, I don't think it's my place at all to be able to make any sort of exceptions to this. Sir Janicet, what say you? And Sir Janicet just looks up, and it's very likely that I may be able to leave myself, being a captain of the guard. However, this was not any order that was given to me. This was not. This is the first I've heard of it. So.
And this Prior Ruckheim fella, do you know him?
Who's that?
Oh, of course, yes. Prior Ruckheim.
Would I know?
Yeah.
Religion checks, or history. This would fall under either.
History.
They're both bad, see? But that's a 17.
I'll take religion.
You roll better than me.
I rolled over a 15.
I'm so proud of you.
Proud.
You could you.
It rolls to a 1.
Oh. Too close.
We just had to put you in a situation where you're the face, and suddenly your time to shine.
Great.
All right, so
15.
15,
26.
26.
23 history.
Dang.
17 religion.
Okay. And how many was religion? How many was history?
Religion.
History.
Religion.
History.
Okay. History and religion. Fantastic. Let me pull up the information on both of them.
I got a rock.
For a second, I was like, why didn't you? Oh. No point. Why?
All right. So for my religious folks, you know that in the hierarchy of the church, priors are essentially the heads of divisions in the church. There are few of them. They are a step above cardinal and only one step down from the head of the religion. And yours was a
It's the same whether it's religion or history.
17?
Yeah,
Okay.
7.
They are a step down from the Lord Cantor.
So is the prior Ruckheim the local prior then?
1 second. Pull
No
up. Notes are taking a second to pull up. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, you should use physical and not digital.
Wait, because that was just the religion people.
No, we're not even on to the history side.
He's got a history.
Right.
He's got a history and he knows it.
Some high marks over here, see?
Hey.
Are you saying he has priors? Sorry, I couldn't help it.
Oh.
I know.
Which d20 should I throw?
36, you 36s. With him, you're 36.
For my history folks, similar knowledge. However, you also know the structure of them a little bit more. You know that beneath the Lord Cantor, there are 4 priors. And Andy, you know Prior Ruckheim, full name Prior Eisen Ruckheim. And Prior Ruckheim is the head of the guard, of all of the guard, of both the religion and the city guards.
Oh.
Oh, and I'm sorry, not 4th, 3 priors.
3.
3 priors? Only 3?
Mhm.
Okay.
Only 3 priors.
For my folks above a 20, so
Mhm.
for Aaron and
Mhm.
Andy, you both have a pretty decent understanding of the entire hierarchy of the church. You know that it goes the Lord Cantor, priors, cardinals are directly beneath them.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, if you're acquainted, perhaps you can vouch
Who's this to?
to Janicet, picking up before
Oh,
all
yeah.
of that round of checks when he said he clearly knew.
Oh, I'm not acquainted.
Ah, I see.
I just know.
Right. Well, hard not to in your position, I'm sure.
Very much.
Seems rather an aggressive approach to place the entire city under a curfew. Do you think they'll be effective in scanning the entire city for whoever they're looking for?
As you say that, Councilwoman Charlotte Guillou, who I actually need to take a moment to not retcon, but correct an error from last week with all of these new characters.
Characters!
I know. All of these new characters and information, I neglected to actually put on her voice.
For sure.
Yeah. So, as you say, is it a bit of a
means.
there's a scoff that comes from Councilwoman Guillou. She says, "It is very much a hard decision that they have made, apparently, but I guess it is for the best."
What gives them any cause to think that the perpetrators are still in the city?
I do not know.
I mean, when you're dealing with something that chaotic, who's to say? You don't act alone.
Clearly.
It was a severe attack that took place. I imagine that they have decided that the city has decided that a severe response was needed. I just wish that they would have given the city time to act on their own, to show what could have been done.
Agreed. And what would you have done?
Well, I frankly would imagine something similar, but not a decree down from Seros Manor, but to work with the overseer to have it handled within Venture itself.
Does Saros Mena often get involved in your city's politics?
They do well. Not so much. I personally am hoping to change that, but not to have the city get involved, but or not to have Seros Manor get involved with Venture, but to have Venture be represented in Seros Manor.
Ah, I see.
At which point, her husband, Aidan, says, it's pretty interesting of them to tell the first people to leave the walled cities that they can't leave the walls.
Yeah. So word has gotten back to Saros Manor fairly quickly. They're spooked. If they're shutting down all adventure,
Yeah. I don't know if it is that they are spooked or if it is more. They just wish to show force.
they do like that.
As Icon's having this conversation, can I glance over at Lady Elaine and just read her position?
Sure. As
On
you
this?
look over, she seems to be attentive, listening in.
Mm-hmm.
You can give me an insight check if you like.
That's a 12.
12. She seems attentive.
Mhm.
There's a look of concern on her face, but it doesn't outweigh any sort of concern on anybody else's.
Okay.
At this time, small plates are placed in front of you as the serving staff has returned, on top of which is a small ceramic dish with a caramelized layer covering something beneath and a small dollop of cream. Next to it, a single strawberry that seems to have been drizzled with a dark hardened liquid and a couple of pieces of salt on top.
If this is what I think it is, Dorothy, you're going to like this.
Okay. What do you think it is?
I mean, it sounds like creme brulee, Scott. I imagine with my upbringing, something similar will be served at least once.
Yeah.
It's goes by many names. Creme brulee is
Okay.
it's like a custard, and they flash the top with heat to caramelize. It's very good.
It looks very delicious.
Well, dig in, everyone. Don't let this. We can't let the party falter.
No,
As he taps his, there's a tap tap crack.
I mean, we have all night now to discuss
I
various
suppose we
things.
do, don't
so,
we? Gives us an opportunity to really get to know each other.
How's Drinky McDrinky face?
yeah. How's Reginald Pharaoh?
Yeah.
Looking over,
My buddy.
Reginald has one. It's just resting against one arm. He seems wavering. Doesn't appear to be touching his dessert at
Oh
all.
no, he's at that point. Okay.
It's a shame.
From the head of the table, as Janib takes a bite, you just hear. It's delicious.
Well, with that review.
Oh,
As you bite in, it is a lemon custard creme brulee with a dollop of sweet cream on top.
Mm.
You are right. This is very good.
Yeah, hard to beat. Definitely a favorite of mine. I'm digging in for like the first time all night.
this is still the slowest I've ever eaten food.
So, are we all just staying here then?
We're kind of locked in, bud.
Yeah.
I think that with the permission of our host, I think myself and Edon will attempt to go home. I think that we live very close by, and I think especially with the potential stewardship of Sir Janazet here, we should be fine. As a councilwoman, I am sure that I will be able to talk my way out of any sort of difficulties.
Will you be overseeing any of the rebuilding of Venture, or?
Overseeing, not so much. I will be there to see what is being done, but in this case, I am much more of an observer. I will be seeing how Venture takes care of itself and reporting what I find.
All right, and You seem to have an interesting opinion about Saros Maynor's weight being thrown around here in Venture.
Well, it is. So I see Saros Menor like a parent who is maybe just not ready to let their children go. And I truly believe that the frontier towns are ready to be on their own, so to say, but still part of the family. That I am sincerely hoping that at least Venture is ready to have a place in the Vorten Council.
I mean, it's remarkable what Venture has accomplished in the time that they've been around and how they handled, I mean, last night's attack. Things have moved quickly.
Truly believe it is a testament to us as people and what we are capable of doing, both those of us within the walled cities and people of the frontier towns.
It's refreshing to hear that take. So,
Is there any sort of, well, clearly quite an investment has been made here in the City of Venture. I've heard that mostly came from Saros Manor, at least to start. Is there any sort of owing of anything for that?
From the other side of the table, Eddard Pliverton speaks up. Well, there's been a lot of investment from effort, and we really did see a lot of this built with our own hands.
I certainly believe that. And you, Mr. Pliverton? What led you to Lord Janob over here?
Well, when you do a lot of work in a city like this, you tend to know the people who know the people. And Lord Janob here tends to know a lot of the people. And oh, do stop.
I imagine you do work in many cities, so you must know all sorts.
I do. But I'm primarily based out of Venture. Venture was where I got my start. Venture is where everything happened, and from there it's just feelers and fingers out in every other city.
Yeah, took the answer to my next question right out of my mouth. So, how long have you been here in Venture? Since the beginning?
Just about. My parents came out here when I came with them.
Your parents started the family business, or was that you?
They started it, but I really made it what it is today.
Absolutely, you have.
Mm-hmm.
Quite remarkable.
I mean, you have warehouses at least up and down the river.
That I do.
Imagine your fingerprints are on nearly every frontier town out here.
I would say, to a degree, yeah. It's... Although these days, no, actually, yeah. I think that's an excellent way of putting it.
Is he taking the flattery, like, with stride, or is he gloating a little? Like, can I insight,
Sure.
just on his ego, I guess?
Yeah, looking to see just how he's feeling.
Looking to see, like, does flattery work on him, or is he like, obviously, I'm an important guy, you know?
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Doy.
Ooh, that's good. 21.
21. It is a little bit of the latter of he knows what his worth, he knows what he's done, and he's not boasting, he's stating facts.
And I'm 19.
Cool. Yeah, true.
Well, if we're all done with dessert at this point, might I suggest for those of us who are going to be staying the night, retiring to the lounge?
Oh, sure. And I mean, gosh, we brought a whole barrel of cider. So,
Yes, I think it is more than appropriate to imbibe ourselves as we see fit.
Wonderful. Councilwoman, Lord, are we sure that the two of you are going to make it all right? Lord Janizit, I thank you, but I do believe that we shall be all right. Sir Janizit, do you Are you okay to take us home? Oh, yes, I think that I am. It has been an absolute delight to meet all of you. I hope that you have a good rest of your evening. Lord Janum, thank you again for the lovely time. As he stands and gives a bow.
Till our paths cross again.
Well then, come, so say our goodbyes, and the lounge is just on the opposite side of the grand hall here, and there should be, we shall continue imbibing in your drinks.
Yes.
And I believe that the Lark's gift might be awaiting us in there, as my understanding.
For a second there, I was worried the curfew was the gift, and that was not a very good present.
Oh,
No.
they doesn't seem the sort of thing that Mr. Calder would be giving.
Good, good.
We certainly have our interest piqued. What sort of gifts does he give?
We'll find out then, won't we? Usually he gifts us with his presence and his just incredible demeanor. But this is the first time that we haven't had him, and I'll be interested to see what he sends in his stead.
Really quickly, just because I mean I can go flipping, but
Mhm.
my notes are. That last name,
Clark Calder.
Calder. Does that? Can I roll a history check to see if that rings a bell?
Sure.
I feel like I've heard someone say it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a flat roll. That is
A 9. Well, you've definitely heard someone say it earlier this evening.
Thank you.
Um,
Yay.
I don't believe you have heard this name anywhere else.
Okay, just listen to my marbles then. Maybe where I heard it was last week.
On Melos Machina.
Like,
Okay. We're doing great.
As we walk into the lounge, I just want to kind of get a little closer to Duwathi and quietly just, how are you holding up?
I really don't want to stay in this building overnight. I don't see any other option, but I really don't want to. Kind of want to go home.
Yeah, I don't really like being locked in places.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm just trying to, not panic about that.
Don't panic. We used to do this all the time at the guardhouse. Sometimes, I mean, for fun. This is kind of less fun.
As you enter into the Grand Hall and people are saying their goodbyes, you see Councilwoman Yu and Lord Aiden speaking to Eddard and Sylvie Plaverton. They're chatting by the front door. Hugs are exchanged. Councilwoman gives both of them a kiss on each cheek as they leave. Reginald Farrow remains
At the table.
at the table, unmoving, seems to not be hearing anything.
he found his lodgings for the night.
Is his dessert still on the table?
Mhm.
I am swiping the hell out of that.
Nice.
Give me a stealth check.
Okay.
At advantage because he's super duper drunk.
Disadvantage. Oh, actually, technically disadvantage. That's a nat 1 for a 1.
Wait, are you wearing your full armor, or?
Yeah, I have it underneath my nice
All right.
clothes.
Uh,
I don't trust shit.
as he's his arm is, or his head is resting in his arm, you go to reach for it, and his other hand just. I'm saving that.
That's like literally that loud of an exhale and walk away.
Well, luckily, I don't think he's going to remember any of that.
I don't care if he remembers anything. Let's go find something fun to do.
As you all enter into the lounge, you find yourself in a much cozier room than the dining hall. The dining hall felt very formal and presented, like a presentation. Whereas here there are comfortable armchairs and couches. There is a fire that has been very well tended to that is crackling in a fireplace. There are large windows that you can see into the field outside that is now lit by moonlight, as well as the flickering of the street lamps. Resting on the table is a small decanter with a red liquid inside and a note to it, and you can see that Lord Janub has walked right up to it and says, "Oh, I do thoroughly appreciate you all bringing the cider, and I am sure that we will continue to enjoy it. But I think this will be the topper for the evening, for the last little bit of a nightcap."
Oh.
Oh, what is it?
So, Mr. Calder has gifted us with a just a little bit of a tasting of Chimordian wine.
Oh.
I know. Very
Nah.
much looking forward to this one.
I'm gonna clock the Plavertons as soon as that word hits our ears.
Sure.
That is going to be a 14.
14. As you look over the Plavertons, they are hearing the announcement of there being the wine. There's a bit of a okay, but not no look of any other sort of recognition.
Okay.
Is this a favorite of yours? Lord Janub.
I mean, when I can, I have a couple of bottles in the cellar myself, but nothing that I'm saving for a special day. But this already decanted and ready to go. It just there's no reason not to, and quite frankly, it would go bad if you didn't. So getting to indulge is just such a delight.
Well, after
GM,
you.
Sorry, just checking. This is Chimerian wine, and we had Chimerian ale, correct?
Potato. It's essentially
It's the
this-
same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, at this
Oops.
point, it's been like 500 years of
Yeah.
fermentation. It could have been a potato.
Cool. I just wanted to clarify if there was a difference. Sorry, Dan.
There's there is one way to find out the difference.
We had the pleasure of having a little bit of a taste with the overseer down in Riversmead.
No.
Yeah, so it's quite a treat for us to have it both places.
Most folks go a whole lifetime without.
They absolutely do. That is astounding. You have such nuggets of secrets about you all. I imagine
Well.
what else we might find out about you this evening.
I mean, if you're lucky, I'll tell you where I got this bruise from. Just-
All right, I will take you up on that. Come. As he takes you
Oh, no.
goes to sit you down on the couch.
oh,
You did this.
it wasn't my intention. Okay.
I'll,
So do tell. Let me take as he reaches over.
Oh.
And, like,
is it being like portioned out and like served?
the Chimordian wine is being left on the table in the bottle.
Gotcha.
The glasses of cider that you all have brought, it seems to be what's still being served at this
Okay,
time.
okay. Yep. Is there any type of like in this lounge, or is there any type of I don't know, like it seems like a smoking section or like a game, like a chess set, or any type of like clearly like a demonstrated area of entertainment, or just as I look about the room and
Sure.
kind of getting a sense of how Lord Janub likes to lounge.
Of course, there are a couple of bookshelves that are very nicely lined with leather-backed books. There does appear to be a small gaming table that does have a chess set set up ready to go.
Okay.
It seems like a lot of this is meant to be relaxing, but there's options for it.
Okay. Yeah.
this point, Eddard and Sylvie, the Clavertons, walk up to you, Aaron. So, what was that I understand that you and your group may have had an encounter, or been a part of the encounter down with the Fairbanks?
Yes, it was a harrowing endeavor. The ship crashed headlong into the docks in River's Meet, and have you received a full report of the incident from
The captain in River's Meet was.
Fairy?
Captain Fury.
have you received a report from Captain Fury at all?
Not from Captain Fury, but Marius gave me a full report on
Marius.
what had happened. So,
Yes, the consequences of that crash were disturbing, and well, as the proprietor of such a vessel, I imagine concerning for you in many ways.
I would appreciate your perspective on this, because it's one thing to have the report of a foreman, but another from so many people who may have been there. You wouldn't mind taking a moment of your time over a drink and...
Sure, I think a retelling of the tale would be useful.
Thank you.
Yes.
Well, please, from the beginning, as the two of you sit down for a discussion and a retelling of what had happened, is there anything in particular that you want to...
Well, I mean, it is certainly with great caution that I, retell the. I'll tell about the God, what would we have been told? Okay, I will tell about the obviously the creatures that attacked the guards.
The spines.
I think the spines are of a curiosity to us, though I'm gonna leave that in a sense of don't know nothing about it, and it weirds me out to the point where I didn't want to ask any questions.
Okay.
And I think a simple recounting of how the overseer hired us to find his lost cargo because he knew that we were heroic in our acts.
Okay.
And that's how that goes. And I'll tie it back to the sampling of the Kimordian ale at the overseer's house. And I think that's as simple as I think that's as simple as I want to lead with that.
So while your conversation with the Plaverton, specifically with Eddard,
yeah.
Sylvie seems to be standing and listening, but doesn't seem to be doing much interjecting.
Okay.
And with you and your recanting of the bruises.
Yeah, I just go through the entire pit fight, blow by blow. I know that he's a rich guy who's probably never been to the pit fights, and so I just kind of sauce it up a little bit. I just want to get, as I'm retelling this story, whoever, if it's just him or other people that are listening, I just want to get a gauge of how they're looking at us.
Sure.
In particular, Duathi and I, and Andy, actually, for sure.
I'll say it's difficult to kind of gauge around the rest of the
Not as
Janab is
immediate.
taking your full
Great.
attention. But while these conversations are happening, is there anything that the three of you would like to be doing?
I will kind of sidle up to Finn without calling any attention
No
to,
PDA.
to Janab, but I'll just kind of be like, so I'm not good at this, but would you maybe try to get more information on who this Lark Calder is? Because I don't know, a lot of people's name could start with the letter L, but that letter that
Oh, it's
Silas.
too obvious.
found. Who's listening to us?
Andy,
If
how
you
about,
wanna-
how about a collegial card game?
Give me a quick stealth check.
Okay. God. Okay. Well, no, this one's always okay. That's a natural one.
No.
For a total of?
3.
Okay.
That the mention of L, like, would have just sent the hairs on the back of my neck standing, and immediately on alert, looking around the room to see if anybody had heard that.
You can give me a quick perception check.
Yeah. Oh. It's one better than a nat one. With a
The dice really want to tell the story tonight.
so it's a 7, but then I'm also exhausted, so it's a 5.
Okay. Looking about the room, Dwathy, what are you doing right now?
I'm probably standing kind of like awkwardly to the side of the couch where Icon is, and just kind of standing there.
So
Not
as
sure what to
you
do.
as you look about, you see the Plavertons in decent conversation with Aaron. Sylvie again listening, but doesn't seem to be
Oh.
listening to you.
Where's Elaine?
The Lady Elaine is seated on the couch close by to Janab and is smiling and laughing.
Not concerned with all the touching.
Doesn't appear to be, no. And at this point, that is it for the guests for the evening. It is you all, the
And Reginald is
Plavertons,
still at the
the
table.
Lady Elaine. Yes, Reginald is still at the table.
No, and the tensions are high, and there's no need to speculate, but,
I don't know. I'm not good at asking these questions, so I feel like you should.
well, I hate it here, but I'm not bad at it. I have some practice, and I've had a couple drinks now, so I'm feeling emboldened. Should we,
Well, it's either you or Aaron, but it's not me.
right. Aaron's kind of engaged.
I know, but
Okay, so it's the Plavertons and the Janob's estate, and that was it? And Reginald Farrow.
he's still
He's
at the
in
table.
he's in the
Definitely
dining
not
room.
going
Yeah.
to get any conversation out of him.
Letting that creme brulee go to waste.
Wherever you go, I will go to the opposite group, but just
No, maybe
fill me in later.
let's stick together, and wherever there's cards, people tend to go. So maybe we start a game, and we can
Okay,
spark conversation with anybody who'd join.
okay.
As I'll kind of look for the nearest like table setup near where Aaron is. Maybe we can overhear a little bit of what's going on.
Has the wine been poured for everybody?
Still sipping
yet?
down on the
It's just sitting
cider.
there.
Mhm.
But no, so Janab has Janab gotten into it? Or?
No. It seems as though the wine is being left for later in the evening as like
Gotcha.
the
Okay.
nightcap.
Okay.
I do have one thing that I do kind of want to watch,
Mm-hmm.
which is how Elaine and Janib are interacting. I guess I'm just trying to like get a sense of, because obviously I get a sense of their relationship, but like what their relationship is when they're not on the opposite sides of the table.
Sure.
Mm.
Right now, being seated fairly close to him, though not right next to him, so there's not a sense of she always has to be with him at all times.
Yeah.
But she seems very jovial and happy, like he is making her laugh.
Okay.
You can give me a quick insight,
Yeah, just kind of curious, like,
and I'm just
Yeah.
gonna have you all like roll 12 insights and just
Okay.
we'll go down them for the
Cool.
for the night.
For every Jan of laugh that.
Yeah.
Oh!
it's a 16.
16. It does seem to be yeah, it seems to be genuine merriment, and she is having a good time.
Is it mostly platonic though, or is there any sign of a romantic engagement whatsoever?
It's hard for you to tell right now.
Yeah, that actually, though, would be part of, like, a thing that I guess I would be looking at with that, too. I mean, I'm assuming, but...
You have noticed while this conversation is happening, no looks to each other, like
Yeah, no, like, distant longing glances or anything?
no,
necessarily?
but there has been the occasional, like she has taken his hand.
Yeah.
You're not sure if it was to, you're like, okay, now we're going to, but
Stop
Oh,
touching
that's my ear.
again.
That's my ear. Yeah.
We've been over
Okay.
this, honey.
Yeah. Yeah. Personal boundaries, personal
yeah,
boundaries.
and
yeah.
she has, on occasion touched his leg, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Cool, 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 cool. All right. Back to standing nervously.
As we settle into the armchairs, I'll pick up the cards and quickly deal out whatever game is common,
Sure.
like I would have been playing, and I'll kind of palm my hand and below the table with my magical quill, write a note on it, as I then slide it across the table to Andy, and it says, "You mean L from the letter in Riversmeet." And I'll slide the quill across the table.
Oh, so I have to write it. Okay. I'll write yes. Slide it back.
Chimordian ale is too big of a correlation to not see cause. Slide it back across.
I'll kind of mentally chime in to, I think it was you that I had a link up?
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
kind of chime in to Finn in your head. Is there anything that you two need me to accomplish over here?
Andy has had quite a revelation. I hope it's wrong.
Go on.
Well, we've been looking for somebody whose name starts with L, and we found one tonight who has Chimordian ale.
Fair enough.
give me a quick performance check as you are now juggling multiple conversations, one in your head and one to Claverton.
Sure. You know what?
You have a good portent.
I do. I might. Nah, we'll let the dice tell the story. We'll let the
Alright.
dice tell the story. Oh. That would be a 12.
12. Okay. Okay. For the most part, you're doing a very excellent job. At one point in as soon as there is the mention, you find yourself trailing slightly with your outer words. But in that moment, as you catch yourself and you look back worried that you may have just done a faux pas, Eddard is actually over reaching for a new glass. The timing was perfect.
Oh.
As I'm kind of wrapping up my experience and kind of how that led us to this very night, I want to kind of wrap things up by kind of keeping glancing over at the decanter, and I'll kind of stop for a moment, and then forgive me. I'm just piecing together something. The overseer in Riversmeet said that the ale that he served us was, well, something he sought out of quite diligently, and yet here we are with another portion. Does Lord Calder have an access to such rare vintages that he doles them out as gifts so quickly?
I don't think he doles it out, and it's just Calder. No Lord.
Okay.
But well, the man has always had a fascinating just ability to find. His shop is always filled with such interesting things.
The overseer did seem to be a collector of many an assortment of things. He runs a shop.
And he does, actually. It's actually quite fitting you should put it that way. It's the collection was on the bridge. I'm hoping that it's still intact.
Oh shit! My goodness, that would be a shame to see such a dedicated establishment lost.
I'm imagining it's likely why we don't have him here this evening. He's probably fairly busy.
I see. Does he take calls? Is it a private business? Is it something that you need an invitation to?
It's open to the
peruse?
public. It's a little on the more expensive side of things.
Understood. Forgive me. We tend to return to Sarah's Manor sooner than later, and
I think that's probably been put on hold.
well, of course, with the evening's proceedings. But I always intended to return home to my mother and father with a gift, and I think something of interest to them would be, well, something that Calder could provide. So it's good to know that he has public access.
Are you close with your family?
Very much so.
Good. So family's important. As he turns and gives a look over at Sylvie, and a nod, then looks back. Well, I think you've helped shine some light on missing pieces that I had for what may have happened. It's a shame I couldn't see right before the crash. Lord Janab, if you don't mind, if I may be so bold, I would like to have a little bit before I wind down for the night. If I'm going to be here for the evening, I think I might be turning in. Janab says, "Oh, well, of course. Everyone, bottoms up, and let's have a nice taste of this one." As he finishes up the cider that he has, gives a snap of his fingers as one of his servants comes in with a tray of empty glasses, places it down, and begins to pour small portions of the Kymordian wine. It is a very small decanter, enough for everyone to get a nice tasting of a serving, but certainly not a full portion.
Is it more or less generous than the overseer in Riversmeet?
Well, the servings in the glasses are all perfect, the exact same amount to empty the bottle. But it is not by any means a full bottle. It was maybe a quarter of a bottle.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Similar question in terms of comparison to the overseer in Riversmeet. That overseer seemed to collect antiquities just to make himself look more worldly, without necessarily maybe understanding them or valuing them. Looking around at Janum's decor and his collector's pieces, what are his tastes in comparison?
You can give me Actually, I don't need an investigation for this. As you're looking about, there are a couple of beautiful paintings. One of them seems to be a representation of Saros Manor from a distance. You can see it's almost an abstract version of the walls, and it's very blocky, but muted dark colors. It's not like pop art or anything like that.
This is Warhol.
Yeah.
And most of the decor is it's very well put together. It doesn't feel very show-offy. It feels fancy, but purposeful and lived in.
That's a lane. Definitely a lane. Based on the hat choices.
She doesn't live here.
It's a good influence. Great.
As the wine is poured, glasses are handed to everybody, and there is a ting, 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 as Lord Janab, with his finger to the glass. Again, I think it is only appropriate that we give a thanks to Calder for this wonderful gift that we are about to enjoy. I would say that for those of you who haven't had it, but it looks as though perhaps most everyone here has. So relish in the delight that has been given to us. Take your time. And here's to an impromptu evening to morning party, I suppose. My house is yours for this evening. Happy to have you here.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you.
I want to try and put it to my lips without drinking.
Sure. You can give me a sleight of hand check.
Yeah. I don't know. 16.
16? Okay. I mean, you seem confident that you were able to bring it up and look as though the liquid, pushes up against your lips, but you don't ingest any of it.
Okay.
For those of you that do, it tastes very similar to what you had back in Riversmeet at the Overseer's estate.
This is a treat.
How old is this, probably?
Oh, this is, well, if I recall, this is from before the walls. Well, Edward, I will not keep you any longer. If you would like to go to bed, please do. Your room will be upstairs. As he gives a clap of his hands, and one of the servants essentially guides Edward Plaverton up.
Does Sylvie join?
Sylvie does not. Sylvie stays.
Okay. What? Inside checks for days. What's Sylvie doing? Like,
Sylvie-
what's her attitude about that? Does she seem like she's gonna stay and continue to mingle, or is she like, and her husband's kind of like, or is she just kind of not ready for bed yet? What's the vibe
She
here?
seems to be seated and still enjoying her drink.
Okay.
I'll, with my mostly untouched Carmardian wine, gesture across the room at Sylvie and fancy a game of cards.
Why, yes, I think I would.
Excellent. What do you play?
Well, 21, I think, would be perfect.
All right. Andy, do you know that one?
Do I know that one? Yeah.
It's
It's a
simple-
fairly popular game.
Mhm.
Okay.
It is not the same as blackjack, but it is
Right.
a similar.
enough.
Yes.
Right.
I imagine there would have been like in the dorms of the Adergog kind of thing.
Yeah.
Is it as many players as we want?
Yeah, it's
Kind of
essentially closest to amongst everyone. But yeah, you were able to sit as Sylvie stands and sits at the table with you.
As she's walking over, I'll dealers wash the cards and bundle them up into the deck, and then, as subtly as possible, just wave my quill over them to erase all of the ink.
Oh.
I understand that you and the rest of your party had quite a bit to do with the incident down in Riversmeet.
Well, sounds a bit too much like an accusation after what we've been through. I don't think we had anything to do with the incident, but we did have to do a lot with what happened after.
Well, I'm happy to see that it is at least resolved and we can put a closing to that in our books.
So have they found the source then
The source?
of the attack or the infection, whatever it was?
No. As far as we are concerned, it is a closing of an incident report. And that it is a dangerous world out there, and we just have to chalk that up to that.
Seems to be getting more dangerous every day.
It actually, in many ways, is getting less.
How so?
We were used to more attacks when we first started shipping.
And is it your reputation that protects you now?
No, I think that we had just gotten used to there not being many attacks happening, and therefore we didn't feel the need for escort. We don't usually go into dangerous waters anymore. We just weren't used to that section being dangerous.
And do you worry about, new sections of danger?
How so?
Well, I mean, first time one of your ships has been attacked, so close to the end of the line there. Now, Venture, I mean,
I think we'll just need to keep a better eye on what we do. Perhaps sending more of an escort, perhaps hiring more taskers from the Silver Palm. But it is just business.
fair enough. Well, sorry to have been involved in a business incident.
It is all right. You were the ones who retrieved the overseer's belongings?
I'm afraid we were only able to retrieve half of them, but yes, that was us.
Oh, that is a shame. How many were you able to find?
We found, I believe, a
Was,
case,
one of the chests.
Mm.
So
and
it was just
I think it turns out that's, well, we mentioned having the Carmordian ale quite recently. and
Yes, it is.
Small world.
You could say that, yes.
I mean, how many cases of this stuff could be floating around?
Recently, at least a little over 2, I would say.
That's pretty hard evidence there. Yeah. So, if you miss a Janum party, you really have to have a good excuse, or really pay for it, huh?
I think that was just. Calder was attempting to show off a bit. He likes to do that.
well, hopefully that. Wait, no, I'm like. Sorry, we didn't. Did we hear that he has a shop earlier? No, just Aaron was
mhm.
told that. Okay, then never mind.
I want to try and slip away. I want to try and follow Edward.
Okay. As you are observing the rest of the party, attempting to venture off onto your own, go ahead and give me a stealth check. What are you just quietly backing out of the room?
So the presumption that Edar gave was that he was retiring to his quarters.
Mhm.
Was it? And again, just to clarify, the scene was he was leaving like led by a staff member or?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think I want to just give it like a 10 count before I slink off to try and at least see where is he heading to his quarters? Is he heading and does he
Well, first,
Yeah.
let's give me that stealth check.
that's a soft 20.
Soft 20.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try and tail back like 35 feet or so.
Let me do some rolls here.
Yeah.
So many rolls.
There's a lot of guests. Okay. You very quietly back out of the room. At this time, you see Eddard being led upstairs by one of the staff members, taking the grand staircase in the main hall. And we will come back to this in just a moment.
Why?
With you all in your conversation with Sylvie.
Mostly his conversation with
We're partners.
I'm here.
Well, as we before we get into this game, I just would like to say a thank you for letting us put a bookend to this whole incident, and it means that myself and my father we can sleep better.
Well, good. And I suppose we inadvertently owe you a thank you as well, for you have your misfortune has seemed to spin out into a line of work for us. So thank you for keeping us employed for a short time anyway.
Well, it seems that the Plevertons, we create jobs no matter where we go.
Yeah, you do. And your father,
Mm.
also a Plaverton, or
Eddard.
of course. How involved in the family business are you? Are you taking over?
Oh, I think I would only take over if my father were to suddenly and unexpectedly die.
Well, let's hope that
He will keep grinding this until his deathbed. But no, I do much of his bookkeeping, logistics. I am essentially the right hand, but it is a family job.
Do you have siblings?
Oh, it is just myself.
Okay.
It is a busy family job.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I mean, it's an entire industry.
Mm.
Do you enjoy what you do?
Enough.
It's an awful lot of work to just enjoy it enough.
It is. Your deal?
Right. The ideal
As you-
appropriate number of cards
As
to
you
each
play
of the
your
players.
games. Aaron,
I hate this.
with you in the hall and
Yeah, the
Eddard
candlestick.
being led upstairs.
Sorry, camera.
I know, new fancy camera. What would you like to do?
So as we go up, I want to follow up the staircase,
Mhm.
out of sight as possible, but never letting him leave my line of sight.
Sure. We'll say the stealth check is ongoing.
Okay, cool. And yeah, I just want to see. I guess I want to see where the sleeping quarters are of this mansion,
Sure.
and I just want to first confirm that he's in fact going there.
So, following behind, they head up the stairs, and you can see the second floor. There is a balcony edge for the grand hall that then has doors to either side. They go towards a door on the right, and it leads into a much longer section of the home. You recall from the outside that there was kind of a large space to far left of the building, and the rest of it was the elongated longhouse. This seems to be where the main sleeping quarters are, as from a position behind the door, you peek in and see that Eddard is being led to a door that is then opened. He's being presented in. He goes in. There is a moment of conversation that is happening. It's muted, difficult to pick up at this distance. There's a nod from the servant. The door closes as the servant turns and then begins to walk towards your direction.
Right before the door closes,
Mhm.
I want to cast Detect Thoughts on
Okay.
Eddard.
What's the range on that?
30 feet.
30 feet. The door is farther away than that. You are essentially
Like-
looking down.
Big house.
Mm-hmm.
As I think.
It's about a 70-foot hallway.
Woo, okay. Is there a way for me to advance close enough before, like, are there any statues to hide behind? Any suits of armor?
It is a
Any
long-
window wells?
Long hallway.
Long singular hallway?
With doors.
Gotcha. Okay.
And a window at the far end.
I think.
At this point, the door is closing.
Okay. Okay.
The servant is now turned and is walking back in your direction.
I think I will. I'll step out and I'll step into the middle of the hallway. Now that the door's closed.
As soon as you step in, the servant who was looking forward, there is a moment of startle, reserved. He doesn't say anything, and as he approaches and gets within a closer distance, good evening. Was there anything I could do for you, sir?
I merely wanted to follow up on a line of conversation that I had with Eddard.
Oh, of course.
Thank you.
Please follow me, sir.
Yes.
As he turns and heads right back to the door. As he ends at the door, he says, Eddard's room. Would there be anything else, sir?
Oh, no, thank you. I think some of the wine might be needing to top off, though Lord Janet was insisting that people enjoy the entire decanter.
Oh, it is, I believe, fully empty at this point, but we shall, I shall see to it that more cider is brought up.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Enjoy your evening, sir, as he turns and leaves.
Again, as soon as they are out of earshot, I will rap on Eddard's door.
There's a moment. And the door opens. You see Eddard is there. His vest has been unbuttoned and the tie loosened. He goes, oh, Aaron, yes?
Forgive me, sir. I cannot help but hang on a question as you were leaving. I don't want to disturb the rest of your evening.
Well, my evening's about to end, so make it quick.
When we were in River's Meet prior to the accident, there were concerns among some of the citizens of the town that some people had gone missing. Was there an individual named Silas who worked for you in River's Meet?
Nothing's coming to mind on the name Silent now. I've got a lot of employees.
Mm-hmm.
No Silas is immediately coming to mind, but, yeah, nothing.
There was an accident at a warehouse next door to one of yours in River's Meet that had been boarded up as we were leaving and seemed to cause a bit of commotion among the people there. People seemed quite concerned about an accident there, and now, a few days later, an accident at the docks as well, so...
River's Meet is really starting to get accident prone then, huh? Well, thank you for that. I'll let Marius know. Probably see about double checking on the warehouse, make sure everything's secure there. I don't need any more of this.
Okay.
Well, thank you for that. If you don't mind, I'm gonna call it a night.
And a fair night's sleep at that.
Evening.
Evening.
That he closes the door.
Detect thoughts.
Okay. You immediately get the topmost
Surface thoughts, yeah.
Surface thoughts. And he's not aware of this, right?
You learn what is on the target's mind right now. If the target doesn't know any language and isn't telepathic, you learn nothing. As a magic action on your next turn, you can try and probe deeper.
Gotcha.
Probe deeper, the target has to make a wisdom saving throw.
Now this is. Let me. Double
Either
check.
way, the target knows if you are probing deeper.
Just to double check, it is does take verbal components.
Right. So I'm hoping to kind of layer in a string of Elvish in my good night farewell.
Okay.
The thieves' cant of spellcasting.
Uh-huh.
I bet money this guy speaks Elvish. Though.
Who
Double
knows?
check on Lord Janum's character sheet. Just kind of like me off.
Yeah, come on, the head of an industry tycoon.
Oh Lord.
Gotta shoot my shot.
You gotta try.
You miss every shot that you don't take.
Wait, you said Lord Jana,
Yeah, it might
but
be.
you meant
Edard.
Edard, yeah.
okay.
I just don't want to get kicked out of the party.
We're doing fine.
We're
Aaron's
doing
always
fine.
been a liability.
Okay, so just to confirm, saying good night and then basically in Elvish casting the spell.
Yeah.
Okay. As the door is being closed and you speak your words, there's an abrupt stop to the door. It opens back up. Do you mind telling me what you're doing?
Trying to resolve a very serious matter.
I'm going to tell you this only once. I don't like being probed. I don't like being toyed with. I like people who are upfront with me and lay their cards on the table. That's how I got here.
Understood.
21.
My evening has been resolving a serious matter, and I'm just going to ask you again. What the hell do you think you're doing?
Forgive my boldness, but there are actors in play that go beyond you and me. And we are to spend the night here. I want to rest assured that I'm in a trusted company. Now, my actions might have been bold, yes. But given the events of last
Son,
night...
you are in Janub's house, a guest of his. You are, whether or not you are in trusted company or not, it's not your choice. You're here to have a nice evening. Quite frankly, you've ruined mine. I'm going to pretend like this didn't happen. You were kind enough to tell me your story. So I'm going to let that slide. But I'm going to let you know, like, now I have to sleep knowing that you just tried something funny. So as far as trusted company goes, I think if anyone needs to be worried now, it's me.
You have my apologies. I meant no offense. These are tense times, so I'm doing my best to keep my people safe, as I know you are. For your daughter.
Give me a persuasion check.
Important.
That's what you saved it for.
That is exactly what we saved these for.
21.
Okay. You see his shoulders, which had been tense. And by the way, the spell has gone off, and you are getting a litany of top of the mind thoughts going on. Things along the lines of, who does this guy think he is? But funny enough, most of the thoughts are also things that he is just flat out saying. He is saying what is on his mind.
Sure.
but you see his shoulders relax, and the first bit of the thoughts that you get are, he's right. All right. Listen, I'll admit I've been worked up a little bit with all this that's been going on, and especially after yesterday. I understand. You don't know me. You've never met me. I'm sure you've heard of me. But who am I other than a name?
If it means anything, sir. The illness that befell the crew of the Fairbanks was disastrous.
That's what it sounds like.
Gut-wrenching. If anything, my line of inquiry is to ensure that whatever befell them befalls nobody else in the region. Had you seen the disgusting sight of their fate, I think you might understand precisely why I'm taking the steps that I am.
All right. Well, now with that image in my head, we'll call this a wash. I'll forget it if you will. Good night.
Good night, sir.
Daddy closes the door.
Detect
Now wait just a goddamn minute!
Oh boy.
How long does that last? Son of a bitch.
Showered right before you came in here. I got showered. Disgusting.
I'm letting it slide, but he doesn't like Aaron. Twist!
As the door closes, I will
Return to the lounge, but I'll take my time.
As you head down the stairs, at the base of the stairs, you see Lady Elaine looking up. Well, it seemed a little gruff up there for a brief moment. How are you this evening?
Tense. Keen hearing you have.
He, deep voice tends to travel a little bit. I didn't hear exactly the words, but he sounded upset. Don't take it personal. He's typically very upset.
He is a serious man with serious business to attend to. I overstepped.
Let's help you relax. Another drink?
If you don't mind. Thank you.
And she offers her arm to walk with you back into the lounge.
Absolutely, I'll take it.
As you step back in, and the remainder of the party, you're back and forth with Janab. It seems to be calming. Briefly earlier, the Lady Elaine had excused herself, and you now see her coming back in with Aaron. Is there anything anyone else would like to be doing?
Slowly sinking into the floor.
I mean, I think at a certain point after, like, actually settling into the game with Sylvie and the awkward that's happening on that side of the room, like, would have held up the cards and, like, gestured to you, Duathy, to see if you wanted to come learn how to play.
Okay, I don't know what to do with those.
That's
It's
all right.
okay.
Okay.
Come sit next to me and I'll help you.
Okay.
It's mostly luck anyways.
Okay. So I'll sit down.
We can play on a team for the first couple rounds.
Sure.
I'll scooch my chair over. Try not to make the chair be too loud, but it probably is too loud. Scooch it over.
Okay, what do we do?
You're doing great already.
Okay.
I'll deal Duathy in and kind of do a round open face to show how it works, and it's pretty straightforward.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, I did not catch your name.
Oh, my name is Dawati.
Sylvie.
It's
Sylvie
very nice
Clapperton.
to meet you, Sylvie.
It is a pleasure to meet you as well.
Just so happy to be here.
As the four of you play cards, you and Lord Janub go on,
Oh, do.
and you and the Lady Elaine enjoy a drink. We are going to take a break so that we can all breathe.
Yeah.
Throw dice at RJ again.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a 10-minute break. We're going to be right back. Don't go anywhere. We're going to finish up this dinner party and see how things go. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. We hope that you enjoyed your break. Before we get back into the show, just a couple of quick reminders. If you are new here, hello, welcome on in. We're the Adventures Pack. We're just some friends sharing what we love on the internet. Welcome back to Melos Machina. If you are liking the show, please consider giving us a like, a follow. If you would like to support us monetarily, you can subscribe to us on Twitch. You can become a member over on YouTube, and you can head on over to our Patreon. Those are the best places to support us. Also, if you are supporting us, you get to come and join us for our post-show hangout over in our Discord. So we're going to be hanging out there after this to talk about all of the goings-on that has happened in this dinner party this evening. Lastly, a brief reminder that this is the last Melos Machina for the month. Next week we will be off as we take the last week of the month off as a break so that we can all do self-care because it's important. Take care of yourself.
Yay!
With that being said, we dive back in to the dinner party. As the three of you, along with Sylvie, are playing cards, you enjoying a drink with the Lady Elaine, and you enjoying whatever is happening with you and Lord Janib.
As I see Aaron and Lady Elaine enter the room. Oh, Aaron, perhaps you can talk to Janib if you don't mind. I'd love to take Lady Elaine, just have a little conversation if that's possible.
I have taken up all of your time this evening. I have just monopolized your attention, but don't take her too far.
I won't. You've been too generous with your time.
As he takes her hand, my darling.
Oh my god.
And I'll friendly offer like my arm or my hand to Lady Elaine.
Thank you, Claudia.
Thank you. And I think to Aaron, good luck.
So,
I've got him.
how have you been faring this evening, my friend?
It's been an experience. I was just admiring the construction work of the upper floor of your mansion here.
Ooh, did you get a chance to see your room?
I had not ventured so far as to look into my personal quarters,
Goodness.
but
Let me give you a tour. Come, as he takes you by the arm and leads you out.
and I will indulge every single nuance. I know exactly how to butter him up as he does so.
All right. With Icon and Lady Elaine, you put up with him very well.
I understand the type. Are we allowed in the gardens during this, do you suppose?
That is an excellent question. I think that we were to remain indoors.
Right.
But it is a large property. We could risk it.
Well, I don't want to break the rules in another city. Let's maybe just step outside for a second.
Of course. Perhaps under the front porch.
Oh. Yes.
I think technically we can still call that indoors. It is within the there is a secondary portal, if you will.
I like the way you think, Elaine. Sorry, Lady Elaine. As we step outside, I was wondering if I could ask you some questions away from the others that I didn't think to ask you before.
Icon, are you interrogating me?
Depends.
Oh. And here I was being playful.
I'm not really interrogating you, but this trip to Venture has left me with a lot more questions than anything else at this point. And you seem to pay attention. At least better than a lot of these other folks here.
They tend to pay attention, just it's what they pay attention to.
Yeah. Their stakes are in danger. How awful. Yeah.
I detect a hint of bitterness.
It's not bitterness when it's steeped in disgust. think it's bitterness when I want what he has, and I couldn't really say I want anything like that.
I was going to say, I don't see you as being somebody who wants property, at least in venture.
I don't think property should really be that much of a thing. It should definitely not be more important than somebody's life.
I can see now why you didn't make waves into the political side of things.
Yeah, that obvious, huh? Yeah, I find it hard to keep my mouth shut sometimes, and politics.
Oh, I feel like you could fit right in. But I'm sorry, you had questions for me.
It's fine. I still have my cider glass. I just kind of cheers her. I don't know how much you know of what happened last night, but we have reason to believe that it's related to the same people that attacked you on the boat.
You can see her eyebrows raise. And what gives you that idea?
Some proof. Similar dress, similar methods of, I don't want to say evasion when it's basically shutting out the lights before somebody else can do it for you. And just similar symbols that we found on both bodies.
What symbols?
It's grotesque. It's clawed hands. Why would you be a target?
I mean, I assumed it was for my money. Anyone with any degree of wealth tends to be a target for thieves and pickpockets, but if you're saying that this was, or at least they were connected.
I mean, I think so. I'm sure the guard here will do their own investigations and stuff, but what do you represent here?
What do you mean?
Attack on the bridge, attack on the tram that attacks access to the city. Attacking a temple that attacks the very foundations of the religion. But Dupree attack you?
I suppose attacks like this need funding. Perhaps it wasn't an attack on me. Perhaps it was simply a retrieving of something, and I happened to be holding it.
Why would they want your journal, your money? There's so many rich people here who seem like much easier targets. No offense, but
But they are within the city. Yeah. And I suppose as far as anyone could have been concerned alone. I was lucky to have you there.
yeah, we seem to be finding ourselves in lucky situations. I mean, Lord Janda certainly fancies you.
He does.
Seems like the rest of the town sees you in high regard.
I would hope that I have a good reputation.
Seems like it.
Reputation is incredibly important. Because at the end of the day, if the money is taken, what do you have left?
Yeah, I think a few people could remember that. Are you, I don't mean to interrogate you, but this is a
it's fine.
personal question.
I'm happy to talk.
How are you holding up after that?
After which?
Both. You've been very close to two extremely violent acts.
Well, the encounter on the lock jumper was jarring, to say the least. I'd like to think that I am holding up well. No night terrors or anything, but I may sleep with a dagger under my pillow when I travel again. But as far as the attack on Venture, I was a lot less close to that than I was to the thieves on the ship.
Yeah.
It was fascinating to view it from a distance. Fascinating is the wrong word. That implies a sense of disconnect and study.
Curious.
To see so much damage and panic, but to be so far away from it, but still within the same city. It is hard to say that it has impacted me. The most that it has impacted, I would say, is the waterways and the water supply, but we have a few barrels of water in the cellar, and it seems as though a trickle of supply is coming back, and that's the most that was impacted to me.
It's different here in the Garden District.
It is.
There's a lot of people who are not going to get the same kind of reprieve as you and the others here.
How far into the city have you explored?
Gosh. Well, we've been to the Merchant District, been to the Temple, been to the Flow Forge, been up the bridge, down to the Rivers District, down in Dry Dock 2. Probably shouldn't talk about that, actually. I said too much to Lord Janib anyway.
Your secret is safe with me. It is not safe with him.
I know it is. I feel like Dry Dock 2 is probably the best kept secret in Venture, you know?
If you ever want to see a true juxtaposition of the people who are without, the southern wall, the outer ring of the southern wall, they have. It is true what you say, that there are those who are not going to get the proper treatment. But there are those who have not been getting the proper treatment for a while.
That's the case.
So,
Can I ask you how you, again, forgive me for personal questions. It's
Icon, there's no need for forgiveness. I forgive you all of your questions here and now.
okay. I don't know how to ask this tenderly. But there are some folks who are born into rich families, who seek business and succeed. How did you get to where you are here?
I think you just described it very well. I was not born into this, but I found a business that I was good at, and I succeeded. And am
Entrepreneur.
continuing to succeed.
I won't make you spill your secrets, but I'm in awe of you, Lady Elaine. You seem to still be grounded in some sense of reality, even though you're caught up in this colorful life.
Well, at the end of the day, I find that groundedness comes from knowledge. And the more that you can know about the world around you, the more you can be sure as to what you are doing and where you're doing it.
Yeah. Well, I know it's getting late. I won't take up your time. I would say you need your beauty sleep, but you don't. If I were to go to the southern wall, what do they need?
They have, as far as most people are concerned, everything that is needed: shelter, food. What they lack is abundance, which is what the Garden District has.
For a place that's all about flow, does it... I mean, I know the answer before asking this. It doesn't flow from the Garden District to the Southern Mall, does it?
No, it does not.
Right. Well,
May I in turn a few questions of my own?
I'm an open book.
You say you think that there's a connection between the people who attempted to rob me and the attack that happened. What leads you to that? You said symbology, the symbols, the claws.
They both had, like, capsule teeth.
Where did you see all this?
The boat. Well, after the boat, the first time.
Mm-hmm.
After we fought the crowd up the bridge and across into the city, into Venture, we put as much of the flames out as we could.
You fought them. The fires.
The fires first. We kept running to go to the Flow Forge, since that's what we were told would be where the water comes from. Gotta get water into the canals to fight a fire. We heard a scream, looked down an alley, and yes, the city was literally on fire, but there was someone that needed help. So we ran, and it was the same kind of people.
And just those two?
As far as I'm aware, like, I don't know if any were running around the city. There was a mess at the Flow Forge, but I don't know.
What was at the Flow Forge?
I don't know what the workers are called there, but some of them had been attacked. So probably by the same people that ran.
I see.
Yeah. I don't know. I went back to help with the fires, so...
I won't press any further.
No, it's not fine, but thank you.
Your companions, did they go to the Flow Forge?
Yeah, they stayed. I don't know exactly what happened since I wasn't there, but Aaron came out of there unconscious.
Goodness. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
With that, she stares up at the stars, looks to the moons.
It's beautiful.
It is.
Thank you for being honest.
Thank you for your company, Icon. Shall we head back in?
Yeah. I fear Lord Janda will come searching for either you or I, so...
As the two of you head in, the three of you playing with Sylvie.
So, throughout the course of the game, like, I have no investment in winning this game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more, like, interested in facilitating, trying to get a read on Sylvie, making sure Dwathi is enjoying, if possible.
Sylvie, for the most part, just seems to be focusing in on the game. It isn't starting up any conversations.
Takes the game seriously.
I wouldn't say seriously, but it is being played, and there's a casualness to it. but it's very much of, oh, this is what's happening right now.
And she hasn't been much of a talker all night.
Yeah. As the rounds progress, if small talks kind of dwindled, I think at a certain point I'd work up the confidence to probe a little. So I hope this isn't too forward. I couldn't help but notice during dinner, you and your father. Also, apologies, I have definitely had the wrong impression there. Seemed like you were in a bit of a heated conversation, a spat over something.
It's business matters.
I see. And seems like a nice guy, your father. Is he a good boss?
It is difficult to say. If I say anything but yes, it is. It will come across as rude.
Of course, say no more then. I know a little bit about what that must be like, and well, you are a bigger person than me, being able to find success there. So, I'm sure whatever the disagreement was over, you voiced your side of it the best you could.
Well, if it wasn't enough, I will bring it up again. Because, well, let us just say that we have plenty of resources that, personally, I believe should be going towards helping with the rebuilding of the city. At least of the wall.
Quite noble of you, and fortunately, I suspect there could be a lot more people like you talking about that kind of thing here.
It is difficult to bring up because it is a business decision for him. Of course, he wants to help out, but if you simply give away everything, suddenly your reputation of a shrewd businessman who built everything from the ground up. Suddenly now, I'm trying to convince him that he can be charitable and keep that reputation.
Well, if you want another card for the hand, perhaps you could try. Nothing shows confidence in your business acumen than being able to give in a time of contraction. I imagine your business has taken a hit from the damage here.
It has not, actually.
Well, the people don't need to know that.
That's a good point.
Anyway, like I said, I could have joined the family business. I do respect you for seeing it through.
Well, thank you. I think that I will have to give him a little bit of time to cool down. It's, you can't really convince a person shortly after calling him a damn fool.
No, that's generally not the preferred tact. Bold strategy, though.
Well, to be perfectly frank, it was slightly bolder. Those are the polite words that I chose to use here.
To be completely frank, I'm beginning to like you more the more I find out. Sylvie, pleasure to make your acquaintance. I am afraid, well, it was a long night. I didn't really get any sleep, and I might be retiring soon.
I think so am I, actually, if we don't mind this, at least for me being the last hand of cards.
Absolutely. I understand you need a lot of sleep.
Yes, I should have known.
Yeah, it's okay. I need a lot of sleep too, apparently.
We're the big sleepers in the group.
Well, I believe that right now we have also the time in the world to do that. So,
Yes.
Do you know what is going to be happening during all this? I've never experienced this sort of don't go outside curfew thing. What are they going to be? I mean, obviously looking for people, but what should we be expecting?
To be honest, this is the first time I have experienced this as well. I think that it would be, as long as you are not, as long as you are obeying by the rules, everything should be fine.
Okay. Makes sense.
Dorothy, Andy, Finn, it's a pleasure. Sleep well. I'm
Thank you.
sure
You
we
too.
shall see you in the morning.
Look forward to it.
And that Sylvie stands up and leaves.
Is Janib looking like he's slowing down at all?
Oh, Janib is not in the room.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
that's
walked
right,
off.
you're all walking off.
So.
Never mind.
That's a walk.
If he was that handsy in the room with everybody, as Sylvie leaves, I'll turn to the others, and I am quite tired, but the end of that conversation made me a bit nostalgic, and I need to, I think, walk off some of these thoughts. I assume it's safe to walk around the premises here, so I'm gonna step outside and try to grab some air. If anybody would like to come, otherwise, well, then I guess I'll see you.
They did say to stay indoors. Is it like even going outside into like the garden is bad? Like, what do they mean?
As Sylvie said it well, they want us to obey.
Okay.
I can't help but, well, I can't shake that message that was written on the walls. I think I need to step outside.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just stay close.
Okay.
I'll go with you if you want.
Okay.
Some company. Sure.
Yeah. I think maybe we can go, around back, check out Cindy.
Okay. Just make sure she's safe and all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Good night, not
Good
significant
night.
other.
Oh God.
That was.
I'm sorry.
Don't be. That was his assumption there.
I know. I should have known better, but
I think Lord Janib just wants to imagine the most exciting scenario in any situation ever. So if it could be more dramatic or more fascinating or anything like that, he will sort of want it to be that way. He's the
I
kind of
know.
person who sees drama in everything.
And quite honestly, it's almost better he dwell over a fictional fascination of our romantic entanglements than our actual entanglements.
that's true.
For what it's worth, I don't think he thinks about it all that much at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
You're
he's the kind of
probably
person who
right.
feels, not thinks.
He seems to think quite highly of himself.
There's that.
I think when you enjoy things that much, you have to be sort of comfortable to a degree with yourself.
That's pretty wise.
I have a 20.
That explains why there's very little joy in me.
You know, either you're trying to run away from yourself or you're spending time with yourself. And Janab seems like the person who spends time with himself just fine.
That he does.
Yeah.
It's about at this time that Icon and the Lady Elaine come back.
Oh,
Hello.
Hey.
so it is okay to go outside?
Oh, you're not thinking about following a bunch of rules, are you, Finn?
Who would do that?
No, it's. We figured that the porch is probably.
We
safe.
stayed within the perimeter.
Yeah.
Right. And the carts, carriages, horses. Do you have stables here?
Yes, there's a stable house in the back. We don't have any horses of our own, but there's a place in case guests have.
Well, we did bring a cart and also a coachman.
Yes, Cindy.
And I imagine a stable house. That sounds inside. Maybe we can pop over there, Dorothy.
If you really needed to push any of these boundaries, you are technically inside of the fence.
Well, you could say that about all adventure. So where do we stop drawing lines, huh?
I think that you stop drawing lines as soon as a sword is pointed at you.
Yell loudly
Quite
if that
wise.
happens.
Okay.
Yeah. We will. Let's not push our luck that far.
Yeah. Like
Well.
I said, stay close.
Malicious compliance here.
Yeah.
Is the name of the game.
And if you are all heading outside, I think I might retire for the evening as well.
Yeah, do you mind showing me our room? My room? Our room? I don't know what the arrangements are.
Oh, you'll be shown to a room whenever you're ready. And she gestures over to
Thank you.
one of the servants who is standing by the door in a full suit.
Thanks. Sleep well.
It was nice to see
Good
you
night.
again, Lady Elaine.
It was good to see you as well. I shall see you in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Rest well.
You as well.
Sorry your party turned out a little more eventful than anticipated, but thank you again for the invitation.
You're quite welcome. Well,
I know.
Before you go, one quick question. I know it's a grim
you're
question.
all full of them this evening, aren't you?
It was about the person who wasn't able to join us because of their unfortunate passing. Baron Lucius.
Ah, yes, the Baron.
Did you know him?
I've met him, yes.
Oh, sorry, in that case. Do we know how or where? Was he, I assume, in one of the explosions, or?
I think that is the case, yes.
Anyway, I was just sort of curious who he was, you know?
Without any sort of relationship to him, I think it would be very simple to say he was the sort of person who would have fit in quite well this evening.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Elaine.
He was one of the early founders of Venture. So,
Oh, wow.
in addition to being a baron, I suppose the city lost a little bit of its history. But then again, there are many who came as a founder of Venture.
I'm sure.
Still shocking when one of the old guard goes.
Between you and me, he was also one of the first to leave for the first time. And go back.
Fascinating.
Understandable. Not everyone is cut out for frontier life.
Again, rest well. I'll see you in the morning.
You as well.
Good night.
With that, Lady Elaine turns and leaves, no servant showing her the way. She seems to know it.
Speaking of servants, like, just over the course of the night, I'd like to have tried to get a general estimate or count
Yeah,
of
I was
how many are
wondering how
attending the
many.
party specifically, like how many different people.
You
are-
have noticed approximately 6 to 8 individuals that are unique, but they haven't seemed to have been in the exact same place at the same time.
Right. And do I have any sense, obviously, our house staff was not that size, but do I have any sense of who would be the head house person?
They all tend to
House servant?
they seem to be of the same level. There doesn't appear to be a head butler. The only person that might fit that bill would have been
The door.
yes, the gentleman who introduced you at the door.
Great. And that was what I was thinking, and so I think on the way out the door, I'd be looking for him.
Sure. Looking about, he is not at the door at this time of night, but this time at the front gate, you are in the grand hall. You see just the one servant who is by the door. At this point, you see 2 who are one arm on either side. They are. Get the name. 2 of them are essentially carrying Reginald upstairs. And as
You
they
can't just sleep at the table. That's not allowed.
as they are going up, Lord Janabin and Aaron, you are at the top of the stairs, making your way back down. He sees me and goes, "Oh, Reginald, make sure that he gets some good rest, and perhaps have something for him in the morning." Well, this has been a sheer delight.
An immaculate estate.
As he catches Lady Elaine on the way up. Looks like we are turning in for the evening. You will all be shown your rooms. I wish that I could continue to remain a host, but I was not meant to be up this late. Continue to have anything that you would like. My house is your house. And we'll see you in the morning.
Very kind of you. Thank you.
You're quite welcome. Come, darling, as the two of them walk down the hall.
I'll kind of just linger at the bottom of the stairs. Is there any conversation had among them as they walk away that I can pick up?
So they are essentially, they have met you kind of at the top of the stairs, and they are passing away towards the hall. Give me a quick perception check.
Sure. That is 17.
17. You do hear the Lady Elaine whispering, seems along the lines of, "It was a wonderful party. You should be quite proud of yourself." And that group, I am so happy that they have come here. Just chatting about the events of the evening.
Okay. I'm gonna keep wandering.
Sure.
What else is on this base level?
On the base level, from where you are, there are a few doors. There's the door to the left that seems to lead into the lounge area. Door to the right led into the dining area.
Okay.
You also see 2 doors behind the stairwell, kind of in the grand hall to the either side of each of sides of the stair. There's doors in the back, and then the main entrance hall, a door.
Okay.
Lots of doors.
Yeah. Sounds like 3 to 4 rooms unexplored down here so far.
Down here, it looks like 2 doors that you haven't been through.
Okay.
Upstairs, the hall of doors, and there is on the top balcony also like a mirroring grand door on the base, also up on the 2nd floor.
Okay. I guess first question before we proceed. Has my mental link with everybody faded by now? It was only it was a 2-hour it's a 2-hour roll at when we first entered the house when we're in Mounds.
It's probably gone now.
Okay.
It's been a long evening.
Yeah. I figured with the amount of flitting conversations. So I will peek my head back into the lounge, just kind of get a sense of who else has gone to bed.
Looks like at this point, it remains just the 5 of you and Chauncey.
Hello?
And the servants, I should say.
Yeah. No, I imagine they're kind of
Wow, forget the servants.
Their job, they're meant to be forgotten.
they're kind of stationed here and there. So I'll kind of just walk back in, take a seat on the couch. Much learned, friends. Much learned.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
We're not separating this evening, are we?
We were about to, actually. Dorothy and I were going to take a walk to the stables, and you were...
I was gonna stay.
Besides you.
We can stay in the same room.
I just don't want anyone
Yeah.
isolated.
Well, we can, when they lead us, we can see if there's
Yeah.
a room with multiple beds.
If not,
Some of us can sleep on the floor.
don't
I can
mind.
sleep anywhere.
yeah. We slept in dirt for a long time, so
I've slept in a lot of dirt.
yeah. So floor with like a little bit of dirt, not bad.
Well, I think it is my responsibility to stay diligent tonight. The announcement of a curfew is necessary, I think, for the extremes of the city is experiencing, though it still sets me on edge, and I don't want to be caught unawares again.
I mean, we can keep some sense of watch.
I think that would be wise for ours and for the guests.
Well, why don't we find a room while they take their walk and
Sure.
someone can lead them up to us?
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm going to be worthless once I fall asleep tonight, so don't count me in for watch.
That's okay.
Yeah.
The three of us don't need to do really what you do, sleeping.
Right. Big
anyway.
sleepers over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I
It's just
like
it's-
sleep.
I enjoy it when I rest. It's just I don't need that much of it, and I've never met anybody in my life who needed that much sleep.
Yeah, I
Well
don't
done.
enjoy it either, Dorothy.
You're from a small town, Duothi.
Yeah, I was gonna say you've only met other people
Yeah.
like you.
Exactly. So that's all. It's just still kind of funny to me.
Well, the moons look lovely tonight, so be sure to get a glimpse of them.
Okay,
Be safe.
you too.
Really should not say this out loud, but I don't see how we couldn't be out there. I said I shouldn't have said it.
That's fair. For what it's worth, I mean, I don't know if they're looking for people who are still here. That is.
I think you're fine on
Yeah.
the property. Just like I
Don't
said, stay
go
close.
far.
I'm not going to. It's. I don't. I guess I'm not worried
You
about the guard.
Babysit him.
Yes.
but- Okay,
I'm sorry. Usually that's my job, but
that's okay.
Sorry, Finn.
You're younger than me, right? Slightly?
but am I? We don't live as long.
Not looking to make trouble. Just need to walk out some thoughts.
That's fine. Just don't do anything stupid.
I've had to be the grown up in the room before.
I
it's
appreciate it.
Please have him back by sunup. If he gets hungry, there might still be a little bit of dessert on the table. Wasteful
Maybe
bread.
they might have taken it away.
I bet they took it away.
I'm still spinning the most of my Primordian wine
Just
in my fingers.
go walk, because you also really need
We need
sleep.
to get some sleep tonight, so.
Are you gonna finish that?
I had somebody else in mind for it.
Oh.
yeah.
Right.
No, please. She deserves it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, you've already
More than.
tasted two more
Yeah.
than most people have in their life, and
Yeah.
I've lost my stomach for it.
I think that's a very nice thing to
She'll
do.
love it.
Very sweet. Finn.
All right. Well, make hay while the moon's whatever. Oh, I'm exhausted.
Exactly, Finn. Good night.
Let's start walking. Come on.
I just
I'm gonna-
motioned to a servant to ask them to take me far away from
God.
here.
Where to?
Is there a room that's large enough for all five of us?
Five. We
It
have,
doesn't need to
It
have
doesn't need to be,
that
but
many
like
beds,
adjoining
but just
even.
a room that all of us can stay in together.
I think we have one prepared. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And did I hear? Were you interested in dessert?
Is there more?
I can have some brought to you.
Yes.
That would be lovely.
I will bring it up.
Thank you.
Follow me, please. As
Okay.
he-
I'll kind of tap my thigh for Chauncey.
As Chauncey follows, as you head up the stairs, you hear behind you like, as with every step.
Also, if there happens to be a third dessert, as I like duck my head back in. If there happens to be a third dessert, that would be so great. I'll be right back.
Understand, miss.
You're amazing. Thank you.
As he leads you upstairs, you go into the Hall of Doors.
Ah, yes, the Hall of Doors. We know it well.
It takes you to the first door on the right. That is partway down the hall. That opens up into a larger room that has two moderate-sized beds, one on each side. They're the feet facing each other, and opens up to the large windows facing the front. From here, you can see actually a view of the town, but there are large curtains that are available to be closed as well. I think this should suffice.
Thank you.
If you should be in need of another room, we have another prepared.
Thank you.
Thanks. We'll let you know, but I think we're okay staying in this one.
As he turns to leave.
Door open or door closed as we're in here, y'all?
Oh, I'm closing that door
Sure, okay.
right when we get in.
I also, just out of extreme paranoia, am going to do detect magic.
Oh.
Fuck yeah.
There are flickers of magic that are coming from the lights in the room.
Okay.
But aside from that,
Nothing. Okay.
nothing out of the ordinary from your group.
Great. I think we're okay.
Did you used to do this as often as we've been doing this?
Admittedly, my parents were not as open-housed as Janeb, though I was taught when and where to speak and how to navigate certain personalities.
This was a lot.
Yeah.
The overseer was one thing. It was just him. This was a lot.
I mean, members of the Voltean Council, we've got the biggest enterprise owners, probably ever now. I don't. Just all hanging out, same place.
Also, I don't. I saw a moment where Finn got quiet, and I don't know if he was talking to you or not. But something feels weird. And like too much of a coincidence not to pay attention to. But the Chimordian wine, or Chimerian wine. Chimordian wine. I should keep my book open.
I hardly get it right.
Whichever one it is.
I mean, with enough of it, does it matter?
No. Came from Lark Calder.
Mm-hmm.
The ale that we found was on the ship that was coming, that a letter to Silas from someone marked L told Silas that there would be more of that on that ship.
Your instincts are quite astute, Andy. The individual who's not attending tonight, Locke, seems to be quite adept at locating rare and interesting items.
And not being located.
Yeah,
He does seem to own an establishment here in Venture, though.
He does.
And I happen to know where it is.
Interesting. Okay.
Should the morning come uninterrupted, I think it's pertinent we maybe go pay Locke a visit.
I think so as well.
Huh.
I think whoever Lark may be, might be the first real person that we can utilize to tie all this together.
Mm-hmm.
So, while I
Yeah.
wasn't able to suss out much of his personality or his dealings with the public, it's a start.
I feel like it's the first lead we've had in a long time.
I know.
I mean, who stands to gain the most from attacking his staff?
Well, part of me wonders if he's dealing the stuff.
Individuals with the talents of procuring and locating and possibly exchanging powerful items or even rare imbibements
Yeah.
open lots of doors and entertain lots of inquiries. So whether or not his intentions or his actions were directly related, it's one step closer. That's all we have to go on.
We should be safer, though, than just showing up.
Yeah.
If he is dealing in Chimordian ale, if he's dealing in diseases that can turn people into scary, pustuley blobs, Cracker Jacks,
He's a scary person.
just dangerous, powerful in his own right.
Yeah. I mean, if I go, probably Chauncey shouldn't be there. I don't want to blow our cover.
It might be good to have Chauncey there.
Do you think it would scare him?
I think it would intrigue him deeply.
You don't think it would make him run because of what that indicates I do?
I think it depends on how you show up.
Yeah.
That's true.
Andy,
I don't like the way you just said my name.
Felt like you're gonna be popular. It was about to come out right after that.
would
Do
you
a front flip off the desk.
would you care to learn how to gain information from people who you are interested in?
Oh, sure. It scares the crap out of me, but yeah. I guess I should at this point.
You have a goal in mind. It's no different than reading a blueprint.
Okay.
Trust yourself. You're a curious person.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have built Chauncey if you weren't. Ask the right questions.
Okay. Okay.
Regardless, this is a problem for tomorrow. I want to make sure we see the sunrise.
Agreed.
A few of us need to stop staying up until sunrise, but that one is still out and about.
Oops.
Is he okay?
I don't know, to be honest.
He seems real tired.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And on that note, Finn and Duathi.
I'm real tired, Dorothy.
Nailed it!
I could tell. It seems as though you have a hard time resting.
Yeah. The alcohol actually will help tonight.
A little bit, you know. A little bit.
the mind wanders. It keeps me up. Usually I like that. Usually I'm not running around putting out fires and dealing with these types of people and running for our lives or defending our lives.
I don't know. I found this just about as scary as being in the sewers, so I don't know. But
Well, you're not the only one who feels like a fish out of water sometimes.
I'm sure I'm not.
Took me about an hour before I settled in tonight, and well, I felt a lot like how I imagine it feels when you do that thing and your bones crack and pop and you become something you're not. Well,
Yeah.
all I'm saying is that sometimes you can choose to be a fish in water. That's not a good metaphor.
It's okay. I've just had a very stressful day too. And you know, it's you are all very used to the fact that I ask a lot of questions and things, you know, at this point, so it's not that big a deal, but I don't know these people, and so I'm trying really hard to not maybe have so many people asking me questions and things too. It's just
Well,
just a lot.
you certainly were one of the people, if not the person, asking the fewest questions tonight. So, good job.
Thank you. I tried very hard. I did not know what most of the words a lot of people were saying were, so at some point I'm probably going to have to bother all of you for
You know.
like what a prior is, or an iron judge, or a baron, or
So you've got yeah, you've got a wide breadth of titles there. The Iron Judge is not a title. That's a god, like your endless cycle, or
oh,
yes,
oh, there's a god.
or so they say.
What's it?
Right.
I learned a thing. Cool.
Not my favorite of them.
Sounds intense.
Yeah, that's probably the most intense archetype, at least when it comes to.
Then they're going to they're going to bring you before a god?
Divine archetype, I guess, is the proper.
Before a divine archetype?
Look, wow, it is way too late, and I am
I'm sorry.
too drunk to go down that road tonight. Yes, Dorothy, they do, but
Okay.
who's to say it's not the people speaking for that god that are passing judgment? I don't know. My father seems to enjoy that position, or being close to it anyway.
Does your father have a lot to do? I know he's on this Saltian council, but does he have a lot to do with things like judgment of if someone's done a bad thing?
He was certainly a strict father.
Yeah, I get that impression.
I mean, he was never unkind. But the expectations, the rules, the place you're meant to be. The servants, do you notice them? Or
Yeah?
yeah, I grew up wanting to be more like them, and less like those people at the party, unseen, out of the way. Nobody cares your name or wants to ask you any questions. And to have something you work towards, take pride in, everybody needs that.
I understand.
I was a bit disappointed to pass by the doorman and not see him. I think you all got the wrong impression. I was going to offer this drink to him. But I think Cindy would appreciate it.
I think she would do. You know. I'm sorry that you and your father have a hard time understanding, and that he does not seem to want to understand you. Do you talk to him often?
Only as often as necessary. It's easier, much easier, now that I don't live in the same house, let alone the same city.
That helps, I suppose.
And it's not really a hidden problem. It's he is just doing what he believes. There are a lot more people like him than like me, I think.
Maybe. But sometimes it helps to appreciate people for who they are, especially when they're they're your parent.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
certainly appreciate everything he gave me. I appreciate what he does for the city. I would not appreciate doing it myself.
it's fair. My father and my younger brother did not get along. And it was hard to watch, especially because it made them both so sad. But anyway, I guess I just sort of want you to know that, you're not the only one that's happened to, and you're not alone with that. But,
Funny how people make each other sad, despite caring or even loving each other.
At this point, as you come around the house, you see what looks like a small shed or stable with what looks like a small house next to it, but it does appear to be connected to the larger estate. Lights are on in a couple of the windows.
I will knock. With about those hand gestures.
As you walk up to the door and awkwardly knock, there's a pause. The door opens, and one of the servants is there. Looks as though their suit is partially undone. As soon as they see you, they go, "Oh,
Oh, you're okay. They're totally fine. It is late at night and we are bothering you and where you are sleeping and everything. Thank you so very much. We were not expecting to stay the night, and we came here with our guide. Her name is Cindy, and we were curious if she is still awake, and if so, if we could talk to her, and if she's in this building, because we really don't know where she's sleeping, because we weren't planning on having her sleep here, and now I feel kind of bad about that. Anyway, is she here?
Hello, miss. Cindy is staying in the house, yes. She is asleep at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Would you like for me to deliver a message to her in the morning?
Yes, what's your name?
Topher, sir.
Topher.
Mm.
As my companion Dorothy has said, sorry for bothering you so late at night, and
Oh, it is not a bother at all, sir.
no message for Cindy other than we were concerned for her well-being tonight, and well, really all of you here at the estate. And well, I don't think this will keep to the morning, so I'd like you to have it, Topher. And I'll hand him the glass.
Oh, thank you. So, if this is for Cindy, I could bottle it.
Have you ever tasted anything over 500 years old?
I cannot say as I have, sir.
Well, I have, and after the first time, it kind of loses its magic. So maybe I'd like you to experience that. You know, we did so rudely interrupt your night.
As he looks down at the glass and... Are you sure, sir?
Yeah, of course.
Well, thank you. I much appreciate that.
I appreciate you. Thank you. We can leave you be, unless you'd like some company while you enjoy.
Oh, I wouldn't think to impose. Well, is there anything else I could do for you?
But that's all. Thank you so very much.
Well, thank you.
It's better if you sip it. Just make sure, you know, you
Yes,
can't
sir.
make it last 500 years, but yeah, make it last as long as you can.
Oh, I will, sir. Well, thank you.
If we cross paths again before we make our departure tomorrow, I'd love to hear what you thought, but we'll let you get back to it.
Well, good evening, sir. Miss.
Good evening.
You too, Topher. Thank you. Let's get back.
Yeah, absolutely. Get you to sleep.
I just
Goodness
gave away
gracious.
priceless ale to somebody I don't even know.
I mean, I guess I still don't really understand why we get the ale and we get to go in there and they are out here, and why their stuff is smaller.
Yeah, this is why we get along, Dorothy.
Okay.
Unless
I'll keep working on it.
unless you study the histories and how we got here and all of that, it doesn't really make sense, does it?
Well, I think I have some time to probably learn all this. So.
I think you already know a lot more than you think.
That's fair enough, but I still don't really understand what the prior is. And now I understand what an Iron Judge is, and I understand now what Primordial is, but I still don't understand why we're in that house and they're in that house. And
So Prio's the boss of the guy you saw at the temple.
Oh,
The
okay.
head hunter there, so go up the chain. And then a baron is landowner who kind of just thinks that important enough for a title.
everyone keeps like talking about how this is this big guy. When we met the cardinal, they were like, "Oh, this is this very important guy." And then I found out this very important guy. There's another even more important guy, and apparently it's a real big deal that we even got to talk to that guy. And then Aaron already knows another one, and I don't.
Well, for every important guy, Dorothy, there's 100 unimportant ones, and I guess you become an important guy by talking to them.
I suppose, but
I don't know if that
Jeez.
makes us important or not.
I don't know. I can seem to think it was a big deal when we were that and the other cardinal thought it was a big deal that Aaron knew this other cardinal, and then they all like were talking about the dark beacon and it was all very confusing, but yes, they both were telling me it was all very important, and they were very important people, and that they were like the most important people that like in comparison to where I grew up would be like the most important people. But again, they keep being more important people.
And the higher up the order you get, Dorothy, the more important they all take themselves. And
Okay.
As you discuss the very important people, eventually you make your way back to the home and are shown to the room in which your friends and a platter of three creme brulees and a small collection of the strawberries are waiting for you.
Even better bonus strawberries.
As you all crawl in for the night. That is where we're going to end today's episode.
oh boy.
No murder, but intrigue.
It's still early.
Yeah, we're not even at midnight yet.
There was foreshadowing earlier.
No music change, no big cliffhanger.
You
Just
feel a
all
sharp
going
pain in
through-
your side. What?
The murder was
Appendicitis!
Wait, I stabbed me?
Andy,
stabbed me. What?
what's your armor class?
Thank you all so very much for being here. We hope that you enjoyed. We are going to pop over to our Discord for that post-show hangout. A reminder, we will not be here next week. We'll be taking off, so you'll have to wait 2 weeks to see what happens in the first morning of curfew.
And we'll have to wait.
Mm-hmm. Until then, stay safe out there, everyone. We'll see you soon.